It's time now for my daily interview series, Money Talks, and today I'm joined by Andrew Lane. He's Managing Director of Yorkshire manufacturer Union Industries. Not your typical business, Union Industries is employee-owned, meaning workers can have shares in the company in a bid to ensure its products remain manufactured in Yorkshire. From its origins as a tarpaulin maker and repairer, Leeds-based Union Industries manufactures a range of industrial products, specialising in high-speed electric roller doors. The ones you often see in distribution centres across the UK and Europe. They work with companies like Tesco, Jaguar, Asda and many more big firms. So here he is, Andrew Lane of Union Industries, my latest guest on Money Talks. Great to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. You come down from Leeds to see us. We're
I
most
didn't even
grateful.
need a passport to get in, which surprised me somewhat, but that's life.
You're always welcome. You're
Thank
always
you.
welcome. So tell us about the business. How long's the business been around? I know you're a very proud Yorkshire firm. Is it a long-standing firm?
Yes, absolutely. This is our 50th year.
Wow, congratulations.
So we were formed by a husband and wife team way back in 1972, and they spent 45 years of their life building this business, and then they effectively gave it to the employees.
That's an amazing story. So tell us about the kind of products that you make now. I know you specialise in these high-speed electric doors. They're pretty intricate pieces of engineering, aren't they? There's a lot can go wrong if they're not really precision-made and maintained.
Oh, absolutely. And to our customers, the big supermarkets in their enormous high-tech distribution centres, reliability is absolutely paramount. And our doors are all engineered specifically for the opening that they'll be placed in. And they are designed
All bespoke then?
All bespoke,
Yeah.
and they're designed for the needs of that customer, because they vary, and we can't give them a one-size-fits-all approach.
Tell us about the ownership of the firm. It is an amazing story. I've read about it in the past, that the firm was basically given away to the employees. How does that engender a sense of belonging, a sense of pride, a sense of place, a sense that this is a Yorkshire-based firm run by people from Yorkshire?
A local company for local folk. It does engender, because our focus is subtly different. We're not paying back investors or paying owners with demands on withdrawing cash. We are looking at constantly the sustainability of our business, how it looks after its customers, because without that, there is no business. And then making sure that the employees are part of the whole fabric of the company, and that they are appreciated and rewarded appropriately.
Tell me how lockdown was for Union Industries. A lot of manufacturers did actually manage to keep going during lockdown, and yet since lockdown, as the supply chain issues, the global supply chain issues have lingered and got worse in some cases, a lot of manufacturers have suffered. You use a lot of steel, I'm sure you use a lot of rubber, lots of other components. There's a shortage of these things in recent months. How's it going?
Very well. So the positive message here is, let's just go back to employee ownership for a minute. When we transitioned, one of the things we said we wanted to do was to increase our cash reserves, build a war chest for whatever was round the corner that we didn't know yet. And when COVID hit us, we had money to... And before COVID, actually, we lost half of our factory to a fire.
Wow.
And we were building our product in the car park the day after the fire to make sure
That's Yorkshire grit for you.
It is. And so all COVID was for us was another opportunity to navigate round and to be resilient. When lead times started moving out, we just used some of our cash and we increased our stock massively. And that's how we kept going and ensured that all of our promises to our customers were kept.
Now, you are very much customer-driven, and you know we've discussed how the fact that you're employee-owned drives forward that customer focus in a kind of self-reinforcing virtuous circle. But there is a lot of supply chain inflation out there. Manufacturers like you, like all firms, are facing increased costs they must pass on to customers. How's your cost base, Andrew? As I say, you know, steel is getting a lot more expensive, rubber's getting a lot more expensive. All the stuff that you use, you know, wage pressures are going up, given that the cost of living is going up. What's happening to the prices that you're charging your customers?
Well, inevitably, when material prices rise, we do have to pass that on, or a portion of that on. We do tend to, though, we've got this buffer, this cash buffer, that means we don't have to knee-jerk to something.
Yeah.
We can wait until a price, if it's going to spike, till it levels out and know where it is, and then work with our long-term customers in delivering the best value still that we can. And it's not usually about price. Service is usually more important than the pound value of a piece of material.
What share of your work is here in the UK compared to overseas, Europe and elsewhere? Because what you're doing, you're not just installing a high-speed roller door, and of course they're very good quality, you have an excellent reputation, it's why you're here on the money with me now. But these products, they need maintaining, don't they?
They do.
You don't just sell this and then disappear into the distance.
No.
Does that mean that most of your product is inevitably in the UK, or do you have a distribution system and indeed a maintenance network beyond the UK?
No, it is mostly in the UK, and we don't push export for that very reason.
Yeah.
Because when somebody buys a product, they're entering the union family, and we're going to look after those people for the entire life cycle.
Conks out. I mean, you've got a warehouse full of stuff. I mean, the door's got to work, right?
It's got to work. Well, and you could be talking millions of pounds.
Yeah.
And so we absolutely have to be there, and we invest heavily in people and technology that will allow us to get there. We've got a door now that tells us when it's feeling poorly. It sends us an email so we can be proactive.
The door sends you an email.
It sends us an email so we can be proactive, and we can say to the customer, before there's a breakdown, something's not right there, let's go and let's get it fixed.
And what do you think more generally, Andrew, about the business environment here in the UK? We have many, many business leaders come through this studio. Big companies, small companies, manufacturers like you, tech people. You just had national insurance increase for both employers and employees. In the end, the firm funds all of that. You got national insurance, you got a corporation tax rise coming down the track from 19 to 25% this time next year, if indeed the government goes through with it. The legislation is there. As you know, you've got massive business rates to pay on your premises before you've made any profit, before you've made any revenue at all. Could the government be doing more to make life easier for business, to keep this economy moving?
I think we've got to take this topic really in the round. So when the pandemic hit, the package of support that was on offer was more than anybody expected. But that didn't come from nowhere. There's no money tree here shedding its leaves that people are picking up. We had to, the country had to support the business and manufacturing and the wider retail sector, and it did so. But there's a bill to pay. And when the 25% corporation tax comes in, yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt our employees because we share a fair portion of our profit with our employees. But those bills have got to get paid. And so I am kind of
You're philosophical about it.
because there's a bill to be paid.
But in the end, won't bills get paid better if taxes are lower and you get more growth? I mean, this is the central dilemma we face, isn't it? This is a dilemma at the heart of the Conservative Party, at the heart of our politics.
Yeah. No, it absolutely is. And there's a dichotomy there. And I think that we need to promote growth. And so when we're talking about increasing taxation, if that taxation is deployed on developing growth, then it's there for a purpose. And I think that we will grow our way out of this. We are a resilient nation, full of resilient little companies like ours and big ones, and we will fight our way out of it. Give us a chance, we'll get back to growth.
Last question briefly. Why is Yorkshire the best place in the UK?
Have you been? God lives there.
Not bad at cricket as well. Well, they used to be. Andrew, great to see you.
Liam, thank you very much, sir.
Managing Director of Union Industries, Andrew Lane there.
It's been a pleasure.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Really interesting to hear from you.